Good evening, everyone. How we doing? We wouldn't plan to be live tonight, but I'll explain why in a second. Excuse me, can't speak. Should go back to school to be totally honest. So that's why that to be totally honest, I know people like it's a Monday. Why are we live? I explain in all in good time. Just give me 2 seconds because I'm not prepared to be totally honest about it all. So yeah, a lot of things happen in the United States. Obviously, we'll get to that Wednesday. We might talk about it this evening. Again, we can never get out of crises nowadays. Apparently, we can never get away from it. Unfortunately, now if it's not one thing, it's the other thing. It's never normal things nowadays. Unfortunately, for the last 3 weeks, it's just been total chaos here. The constant things happening. It's insane. It's lunacy, to put it nicely. Where is my phone too? Sorry. Just in case somebody rings me, because somebody end up ringing me. Hello, Sean. How are we doing? Good evening. We weren't planning to be live tonight, so forgive me if I'm all over the place a bit. Give me a second, sorry. We won't be too long anyway, hopefully not. Why is this not working now? Excuse me. Why is this not? It doesn't want to work for me. What am I looking for? But how are we doing, Henry Sean? Sorry, I know I'm all over the place. Usually I have set up and all that. So that's that. So just get this ready here. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll probably get started now in a second or two. So that's notification. Doing good, yeah. I was watching that. So that's what I'm just finished looking at that. So that's why we're doing it. We're supposed to be live earlier on to talk about this. It's nothing to do with Donald Trump. Obviously, there's hundreds of things to discuss about that. Don't get me wrong. We'll probably discuss about that Wednesday. It's an entirely different thing as opposed to the moment. It's just total chaos. Let me tell you honestly. Like every week this up, and the last few days has just been chaos. Today has been chaos. Everything's been chaos. So we'll definitely be talking a lot about Donald Trump now the next few days. But I give my initial thoughts, I suppose, because I did listen to everything his no-go address, etc., etc. It's very. Hopefully, he sticks to his word again and everything. But we see what happens. I suppose we can only give him a chance and see what happens. But definitely, he's hell bound to do something about the illegal aliens. Too bad we were not like that over here, but good. But we see what happens. We give it time because there's a lot of stuff he addressed: illegal immigration, energy security, etc., etc. Things. Man and what's a man, what's a woman, what's a man, etc., etc. There's only two genders, pretty much. What I'm trying to say. So we see what happens in all that. It's obviously going to take time. You can't just flick a switch. It's going to take time for that all to play out and to work out. But we see. Hopefully, everything go well, and for the people of the United States, and for the Western world too, in terms of peace in Europe, etc., etc. So hopefully, please God, that'll work out. Please God. But we see what happens. We give him a chance again. He's barely 5 minutes, and so. But yeah, but there's another thing. You're probably wondering why. You probably think I'm here to talk about the inauguration, etc., etc. There's a different reason than here, unfortunately. Unfortunately, again, it just keeps going. Unfortunately, it just doesn't stop. But yeah, is everybody still with me? Because I know I'm probably yapping a bit. He's yapping, and again, I know I didn't. I should have probably put it up earlier on. It was going to be live. Let me see. Sorry. Probably not be many people here because I said to be still watching the coverage of it. Does that make sense? The coverage, even though the speeches are over, except the inauguration particularly is over, there's other stuff going on in the background that comes with it. So we give it another few minutes and we just chat among ourselves for a second. We calm down a bit, let's put it that way. Because I'm seeing double, to be totally honest with you. Not in that terms being drugged out of it either, but probably just for pure anger, I suppose. Let's put it that way. I'm kind of seeing double. If that makes any sense, I'll get into it in a second. Not to do with Donald Trump, now, just to say. I know people would think that. it's another thing. I explain in a good time. Just I give it a second anyway for people to get in. If people are coming. Again, people wouldn't be expecting me live tonight, so understandably, nobody will be really watching out for me to go live. So yeah, we just chat among ourselves and we get into the issues of the day. Well, not the issues. There's a few things to say. There's many other things to say about obviously the inauguration, etc., etc. We'd be here for an hour or two if we did, but we only have a while. We don't have much time this evening, unfortunately, to be live, etc., etc. So how are we all doing anyway? So, I'm sure everybody was probably watching the inauguration. I know everybody was watching it. Like I barely came back from work and I was watching it, just to see because I know people say to America, we won't have much ramifications on an Irish perspective, etc., etc., the rest of the world. But the does. Whatever happens in the United States happens around the world. The United States is pretty much the center of the world, pretty much. If we like it or not, it's pretty much the truth. Whatever happens in America happens everywhere. It's pretty much just plain obvious. So that's why it's important to know what's happened and what's been said, etc., etc. So that's the reason why I know even a lot of people at work are watching the preparations and stuff this morning, etc., etc. But it's crazy really when you think about it too, that the amount of preparation and stuff like that went into it. But that's, I suppose we get started on my tea anyway. My throat is a bit, I know I'm not talking as much, maybe I'm not talking as loud as usually I am. So my throat is a bit sore. I will make that. So that's why I'm. Where's everybody? Everybody. You see, I didn't put anything saying it was going live and stuff. And then obviously with the Trump inauguration, people are busy and stuff like that. So it's my own fault. But I knew earlier on with the recent information that's come out. You see now in a second, they would have to come out and say something else. Unfortunately, I thought this was put to bed. I Saturday night I was like, this is put to bed. That's the end of it. But it's not put to bed yet, unfortunately. So. We still have this bullshit to deal with, unfortunately. So yeah, I suppose we get started. Let me take a sip of tea first. So that's why if I sound a bit hoarse, that's because my throat is a bit happy from the last few days and giving out fuck. So excuse my throat because I've been giving out fuck the last few days. And I'll probably still have a sore throat for the next week because I'll still be giving a fuck about it. It's kind of giving me more ammunition to give up at the moment. So the first things first. We're not even getting into that yet. So Sanna Marin stalker. First of all, this is fucking ludicrous, in my opinion. That the bastard, excuse my language, the stalker. I wish to say, like, this is what the media keep calling him, the Sanna Marin stalker. Can we not say fucking his name? Like, I know his name. Everybody knows his name. Can we not just put his name and say his name? Like, I don't know why we keep it to go with this. And, why is Sanna Marin's picture the main thing? It should be this fucker that's causing the whole issues. But basically, the fucker, excuse my language, but he's looking for an appeal to his restraining order. Now, this is fucking ludicrous, to be totally honest, because she didn't know him, she's not friends with him, etc., etc. It's fucking ludicrous that the judge has even given this fellow the night of day. Like, he should be on a plane. That's what I'm trying. In the nicest possible terms, he shouldn't be able to appeal because he should be deported. Like, he should be already on the plane in Turkey, and he should stay there, to be totally honest. He shouldn't really get that option to appeal. Because there's multiple people, multiple witnesses, the CCTV footage, the police statements, etc., etc. There's multiple statements from people saying he was there. There's camera evidence. He can argue till the cows come home. Like, it's pretty much fucked. He's pretty much fucked, whatever he does. And hopefully the judge, because again, these fucking stupid bastard judges, excuse me, but he probably should be in prison because he's obviously clearly fucking stupid ass bollocks. You don't excuse my language, but he really should be, because he's this, like, the media literally are saying he's dissatisfied with the verdict. Like, what did they expect with the Pitoliansi? What did he expect? He tried to break into Sanna Marin's house, the former Prime Minister's house. Not only that, he stalked her for weeks. Did he expect a medal? Like, this is total bullshit. Like, the coach, like, they shouldn't even give him the light of day in the Court of Appeal. They should be giving him his documents and saying, get out of the country. That's the only solution at this stage. Get him out of the country. There's like the judge in the Court of Appeal should be like, get the fuck out of this country. And it's simple as that. It's a straight up truth. Somebody should say to him, get the fuck out of this country. Go back to your own country and cause trouble. Because that's what needs to be said to him. Because it's totally bullshit. Because there's so much evidence that this is the man that done it. And Santa Mountain herself, etc., a boyfriend, etc., neighbours and police, as I say, the CCTV footage of him being there. He even admitted to be there. All this, and I don't know what leg he has to stand on it. Like, I think he's just doing it to be a bit of a cunt. Excuse my language. But he's only doing it because Santa Mountain have to be dragged into the court again for an appeal, in the high, like the Quinnipiac Court of Appeal, which is total bullshit, because it is bullshit. Like, there's no evidence to, like, what's he appealing for? Like, there's nothing to appeal. That's what I'm saying. He's clearly violated those space. He's clearly tried to break in too. There's mountains of evidence. He can't claim anything under the sun. So it's totally fucked up. And it's fucked up too that the media are still saying this, that they should be saying his name and calling him a bollocks too at the same time. Like, appeal, they should be saying this is fucking shit, what he's trying to do. Excuse my language, but no, this is bollocks of a thing. Hello, Aaron. Somebody was stabbing me a brain. I seen that this morning in the news. Hello, trends too. But no, this is lunacy. Like, it is generally lunacy. Because I think the only reason why he's doing this is to just annoy Santa Mountain. Because Santa Mountain, unfortunately, will have to be dragged into the court again. And again, this all charade to happen again. Like, there was nobody taking photos of him. They were all taking photos of Santa Mountain, etc. And he was, the way we can't even see his face. The media won't even show his face. We can only see the back of him. But it's fucking stupid as fuck. But I don't know why. Like, so he pretty much wants to get rid of the restraining order. Even though she met him only recently enough in December when he was stalking him. She probably didn't know that the first few times she met him. It seemed like she had a conversation with the first few times she met him, because she thought, it was a member of the public, just a well-wisher, wasn't just to meet the former prime minister, etc., etc. She probably didn't think of it the first few times and stuff. But obviously, when fucking kept happening every day, warning signs, etc., etc., and then obviously on Christmas Eve too. Like, it is bullshit, and it's dissatisfaction. Like, if I was the judge there, if he wanted this satisfaction, I could give him the satisfaction. I could send him back to his own country, and he never get back into the country again. Like, that could be dissatisfaction. Would he like that? I wonder, because this is fucking, like, at the end of the day, he only got a restraining order. He probably should be preferably he should be sent back to his own country and go and cause trouble in his own country. But he won't get offered in his own country in Turkey, because they will deal with him very severely over there. But he wouldn't get offered. Let's put it straight. We say it straight. He won't get offered it. He thinks he's entitled. That's what he is. He's doing. He thinks he's entitled because he's a foreigner in Finland, etc., etc. He shouldn't be entitled, and they should be sending him home. Like, that's the simple solution here. Because next year, if he's still in the country, on the 9th of January 2026, Santa Mountain have to go back into the court and look for another restraining order and rinse and repeat with wits. So the best solution, send him home, because he's not a Finnish citizen. We'll revoke his residency status, send him home. Like that, everybody's saying that, send him home. He's no addition to anybody. And especially that he wants to drag poor Santa Mountain back into the court for a senseless thing. Like, any judge in his right, if the judges are lunatics, like, they are probably lunatics, I know these judges, but the judges will be out of their mind if they agree with him and say, yeah, that's okay, we're going to get rid of those training orders. Like, they'll be out of their fucking minds if they do. I don't think they will, because the people would go fucking mad, and rightly so. People would go mad, because people are literally hopping at the moment that he has the audacity to break the law 3 times in Finland, and him not even a Finnish citizen, and coming to the country and claiming social welfare, etc., etc. People are hopping over that, and rightly so. People should be hopping, and that's the thing. People should be hopping, because how dare this fellow that's not even a Finnish citizen come over to their country and tell them what to do, and attack stalk their women. These 3 Finnish, like Santa Mountain, including the other 2 women and the child, they're Finnish citizens. How dare he come over, and him a foreigner in the country, and do that to, and over there break the law? How dare he? Simple as that. How dare he? And how dare he object? Because again, there's no. It'd be different if there was reasonable doubt he didn't do it. Like, it's pretty much him. Like, every bit of evidence show And again, he's no remorse or anything. Like, it's pretty much him. Everybody's seen him. We all know what he's like. He's done this before. Like, the mountain of evidence is insane. But yeah, if the judges do this, then I don't know what to say to you, because the judges shouldn't agree with him. Like, as soon as he walks into the court, the judge should throw the thing at him and say "fuck off," because that's the best solution. Like, or even just straight out just say no, because he shouldn't be allowed to appeal. First of all, he's a low life scumbag. He should be sent home, in my nicest opinion. That's what we, because again, this fellow shows no remorse. It'd be different if he showed some kind of remorse or some kind of wanted to make amends or something. Nothing like that. You think he would say, "Oh, I want to try and apologize to Santa Mao, etc. So I don't want to have to deal with this." Yada yada yada. I don't know. He's just, if he does get it, he probably just wants to stalk and annoy her. And even the judge themselves, the judge that gives her this restraining order, the judge said if they didn't give him Santa Mao this restraining order, he could go and do harm to Santa Mao or a child, and so they did. The judges. That's the only reason why she got it, because they were afraid of him going to her house and hurting her, etc., doing even worse, God forbid. But no, he's not basically, if the court system rules with him, there's something very wrong in society. But this is lunacy. Like, it is generally lunacy. Like, they have to put the poor woman through this again, like having to drag her into the court again, and and again, his face should be on it instead of Santa Marin's face. It should be him. And again, to me, Santa Marin stalker. It should be his name. Like, can we not call him his name? Are we too afraid to call him his name because he's from Turkey and he's not a Finnish citizen? We should be able to call him his name, because we shouldn't be hiding his identity. Because he is a low like scumbag, and the media are taking up from him in this case. Because at the end of the day, this is the victim. This is the victim of the crime. She didn't ask him to go and stalk him or try and break into her house on Christmas Eve with a young daughter in the house too. Like, beggars belief. Like, it is beggars belief, and especially because there's nothing in the world. Like, you see now in a second. So we see now. I think it was in this article, because the police said a bit more today about it. So straight away, during the hearing, etc., on Christmas Eve, the man was arrested in the stairwell. So he can't say he wasn't near a house, because he was literally arrested in the stairwell of Santa Marin's home in Helsinki. And then what he said when the police arrested him, this is what he said. So, this is total bullshit. Like, he's just basically talking shit. He's not, at least if he was straight up honest, said, I did it. He's still admitting his innocence, but he literally said it. He was interested in the building and wanted to see what was inside, what it was like inside. According to him, the architecture was interesting. Like, this doesn't look like a man that gives a shit about architecture. This doesn't look like a man that gives a shit about it. Like, half of the life he's on his dole in Finland on the Finnish tax bill. So, and we see in a second, there's another story about him in a second. He had a job for a while, and, it's very questionable how he got the job, etc., etc. But this is what he said. So this is very straight away. This should be saying this is bullshit. Because if this is his probably going to be what he says in court. He liked the design of the building, so he wanted to look inside. I haven't heard anybody in my life. Like, I go by buildings every day, houses every day. I just don't go into somebody's go into somebody's house, random person's house. I'd be like, I like your architecture. Can I come inside and see what's in there? In a private building, I wouldn't mind if it's a public art gallery or something like that. But literally going into, like, imagine you go to your neighbor's house now and say, I'm interested in the architecture. I can barge into your house. It's fucking ludicrous. Like, any judge that listens to this is fucking insane. And to be told that the judges are fucking insane for not just saying to get on the boat and goodbye, get out for this country. And that's what they should be saying. If right was right and wrong was wrong, he's the worst possible needs of society, to be totally honest. Like, he's only a low like scumbag, and that's to be totally honest. Like, this is his excuse. Like, this is what he's going to use in his trial. I like the architecture. That's all he can say. He has said nothing else. He's no addition to anybody. So this is bullshit. Hello, Captain. How you doing? About 3 years. As folk, yeah, and I have a sore throat, so no, because it is total bullshit. Excuse me if I'm sounding a bit hoarse. But it is total bullshit. Like, this is the excuse. Like, this is his excuse. And he's going to go to trial now after stalking too, like he'd done it before. And now the best part, no, well, not the best part, but this is the next thing. He used to work for 2 months as a lifeguard. Now, you're probably wondering very well, and you see the way the media are protecting him. Like, he broke the law 3 times in Finland now. And stalked the former, and the former prime minister's on every front page, and he's defended because he's a Turkish citizen and he's a protected class. Like, he should be no protection. Like, it's in fucking insane. It really, really is fucking insane. when you really sit down and think about it, this would say, like this is a former co-worker. So he worked in the swimming pool for 2 months in April and May last year. This is not just gone by 2024. So like I have it up in my community post if anyone else read it. But he had like the people he walked, the community, like where he walked in the pool, they all had all the women and stuff were afraid of him pretty much. So straight away there was red flags, and how he got the job too is more questionable, because it goes all the way to the top pretty much. Because there's loads of questions asked how this man even got the job for. So because he had a criminal record at the time, he was stalking 2 other women at the time and threatened to kill a woman and a child. So how he got the job in the first place is beggars belief. How nobody looked into his background, and not even that, the women in the place in the swimming pool, were afraid of him, and he didn't seem to treat women with respect. Because again, his culture, and again, this probably sounds far right, extremist, etc., etc., but in his culture, women, and it probably Santa Marin's the same case, that women should be seen, not heard. In terms of that, that's what I presume. I could be wrong. Maybe if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's what I presume. It seems like he hates women with a passion. He just thinks of them as objects. That's the way I see it. And I think why he targeted the former Prime Minister of Finland, because she was too vocal and spoke out of, he in his mind was speaking too much as a woman. She shouldn't. That's more or less, and I presume that's what it, because there's no other explanation to his madness. It's simple as that. There's no other explanation to it. Because to be totally honest, he shouldn't be there anyway. He shouldn't be in the country anyway. He should have been gone the first time he caused any trouble. But yeah, he used to act like a ninja around the pool. So this is very worrying. This is in the public pool too, with children and stuff about, and you have a serious stalker walking in the pool. Thankfully, only walked there for 2 months. But this is the thing. You're probably thinking that's all. You probably say, "Oh, it's not that bad." But this is the thing. There was always such red flags. Like listening to this bit, like the red flags were there from the start. Like somebody should have took notice of this from the start. He always talked about his marriage and his ex-wife, etc., etc. He stalked his ex-wife and threatened to kill her and their child. So not a nice man at all. But this is the thing. Read this for a second. So the fellow we're talking about at the moment, he was a lifeguard, right, in the public pool, right? We get that straight for a second. He did not even complete his first aid course or the Finnish instructor on lifestyle. So he was a lifeguard, right? Listen, he was a lifeguard in the pool. And he didn't know how to do first aid. He didn't know swimming lessons. He didn't know anything. And the reason why he was fired, he didn't swim. He couldn't swim. So that leads. So the only logical explanation here, after hearing this, right, he was a DEI hire, pretty much just to tick a box, diversity hire, pretty much. Like, let's call it for what it is. There's no other reason why, because he didn't seem to have qualifications. Maybe he does. Who knows? But going by the Finnish media at the moment, and the majority of the Finnish public, because this is from the mainstream media in Finland, that he doesn't have any qualification to be a lifeguard. So how he got the job in the first place is anybody's guess, how he got it. Because when I got my job in the local town here, I had to do a safe pass. I had to do a small machine course. I had to do different courses to get you to be able to walk in the local town and stuff like that on the roads, to be insured, to get my insurance, so I'd be able to walk. And that's okay. That's all well and said and good, because again, it's you're insured, etc., etc. It teaches a bit about different things. But the fact that he could walk into a job, especially life, because again, you have to remember, he's a lifeguard in the pool. So God forbid a child got into difficulty or had a stroke or something happened to them in the pool, and he has to jump in to save them. He couldn't save them because he doesn't know how to swim. And first of all, if he did pull them out, he wouldn't know how to do first aid. So it's beggars belief how this was allowed to happen for 2 months. It's beggars belief. And the only logical conclusion is that he was a diversity hire, pretty much. That they were just doing it to tick a box. Pretty much. Like, there's no other explanation on earth why they would take him on. And particularly, again, you have to remember he had 2 criminal convictions at this time for what he was doing. Maybe just one, sorry, because it was in 2024. Yeah, so it was one, sorry. Because it was a few months afterward he threatened to kill. No, was it? He threatened to kill his ex-wife and the child. Yeah. So we have one criminal conviction. So it's beggars belief. And especially when there was a lot of red flags, because this is his former co-worker talking here. Like, yeah, didn't know how, but he was repulsed. A lot of the women around was repulsed by it because of him, because he kept talking about his ex-wife, etc., etc. And again, especially he was kind of bitterness towards his female colleagues and stuff. So to me, like looking at this, it seems like he absolutely hates women, or thinks he can use them, etc., etc. But I should have more viewers. Well, I don't know about that. I'd probably be banned for saying half of the stuff I said tonight. But no, but it is Beggars' belief. Like, it's Beggars' belief how this man, and you're probably thinking he's locked up in prison. You're not gonna like he's still walking around Finland and Helsinki. Like he's still, well, he probably isn't now because he's public enemy number one. Because a lot of people, you would be surprised. A lot of people are not too happy with a man from another country, coming over to Finland and threatening to kill a young child and a woman, and you're going around after young women and stalking them and abusing them. Preferably a lot of people, a lot of members of society don't take that lightly. Especially when the media are literally protecting them. Like, this is not me that's blowing his face out. And if I probably showed his face, the Helen McAtee would be at my door with a warrant for my arrest. And so probably would, because no, everybody seems to be afraid to show his picture. I have his picture. We have his social media accounts, etc., etc. And, I know what he looks like, etc., etc. I know much more about him than probably the police at this stage. And again, members of the public had to find this out. The media haven't told us. The media are only kind of coming around now to tell us because the public know already, and they have to kind of be seen to do something. But we have to, and this is just to say straight, we have to get rid of this title first of all. Like, we should call him his name. Simple as that. Like, why do we go around? Imagine if I was attacked in the morning, right, and I was beaten up or something like that, or somebody came in and cut off my hand or something like that. Take for example, for argument's sake. You wouldn't come along now in the local newspaper and be like, Adrian Logan's tormentor came into his room and sawed his arm off. Would you not be like, man came in and killed, took somebody's arm off? Instead of being like, Santa Mountain's torturer. The torturer was a lifeguard. And it's Beggars' belief how he got a job as a lifeguard too. Like, it is really Beggars' belief. That he, like, I never heard the like of it in my life. That he couldn't do first aid. He couldn't do swim. He didn't do any of this. And he didn't swim well. Like, it's absolutely fucking lunacy. It's lunacy how he got the job and how he was there for 2 months. So there needs to be a lot of questions asked from the Finnish government at the moment. How this was allowed, because obviously they're regulated by the Finnish government, etc., etc., health and safety policies, etc., etc. So how all that failed and he was allowed to do it? Because the only logical conclusion to everybody in line tuned that it was a diversity hire. He was there to tick a box. Because if he could do all this, then understandably he would get the job. But if you don't fit the criteria, if you don't know what you're doing in the job, particularly this, because you're saving people's lives. If somebody took a heart attack, God forbid, in the pool, and he had to go in, he wouldn't be able to probably pull them out, because he doesn't know how to swim. And then if he got them out, he wouldn't know how to do first aid on them. Like, again, this is what the media are reporting at the moment in Finland. So we see, maybe he's done some of it. I highly doubt it. I say it's probably true, this bit, because I've heard a good few people saying that he couldn't swim. So that's probably true. I don't know, but maybe he did his first aid, maybe. But the mainstream media in Finland are reporting this. So I presume there's some kind of logic to it. Because it doesn't seem like a man that does any work, to be totally honest. Like, he's on the dole. Like, the majority of life, he was on the dole in Finland. So this is probably the only job he ever had in Finland for 2 months. So, So it seems like. But I could be wrong. Oh, my vocabulary. Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, sorry, I was probably a bit distracted a few minutes ago. Now I'm focused. Sorry, it's too busy yapping on. Sorry. You're doing well. You show more viewers. Yeah, I don't know, but I think they're all just fed up with me yapping. Because see, when I yap, I just don't shut up. That's the problem with me. But anyway, now sure, look at again. I didn't say to anybody who's going live. I just decided on the whim to go live, pretty much. So that's just the thing. But it is lunacy. Like, it's generally lunacy. That this is happening. That this is still, like, again, Donald Trump's inauguration. You probably think that's the biggest headline in Finland. No, it's this and it's this and this. Like, this is the main headlines in Finland. Like, imagine that the Donald Trump inauguration, nobody cares in Finland. Like, this is the biggest headline. And, it was all quiet. Like, the worst thing about this was it was all quiet and down yesterday. Like, the media were kind of losing steam because they were talking about this nonstop for the last week. So it died down yesterday. And then this came out this morning. This came out first. This came out first. And again, it's a funny way to describe amazing detail. It's a bit shocking when you think about it. Like, the more or less, I don't know what to make of it. Like, it's some fucked up situation. Let's put it that way. But yeah, this came out, and then this came out, and then there's just a massive uproar, and no wonder. And as this article says, like he's known before for death threats and demanding money of people, etc., etc. Like, and especially because the media won't show his face. They keep showing behind him or they show his face. It's just total fucking shite. So it's insane. And then they keep referring to him as 36-year-old man. Like, could they not say his name? Like, is it that much to kill him? But but yeah, no. Long story short, as long as this doesn't, because he probably be allowed to just, he probably win his appeal, because the way this is going at the moment, the system seems to be just totally. I don't know what to make of it. Like, it's just totally fucked up. Like, that he can do it too, and he shouldn't be there in the force. He should be sent home. He really, really should. He's a Turkish citizen. He's not a Finnish citizen. He should be sent either that or prison. Simple as that. One of the two. To be totally honest, straight up honest with you, he's no addition. Simple as that. He's no addition. He's committed crimes. This is not the first one. He's done it before to his ex-wife, and he threatened to kill them. He's done it before to a nurse. He stalked her. He's a serial offender, and pretty much him on the street too is a risk to every Finnish woman in wherever the location he is in Helsinki. He is pretty much a risk to society, and should be dealt with. Simple as that. One way or the other, either prison or send them home, and he can go around talking and do it. But the only thing about it, he wouldn't go around talking to it because, he'd be dealt with up in fields. Like, he wouldn't get a restraining order. He might get his head bashed, and that'll be the end of him. It's the fact of the matter, I think, in Irish society, in Finnish society too, and a lot of societies around the Western democracies, we're too soft on these people. We're too soft on these people that are coming over here, and they can think they can do everything. Simple as that. It's the same what's happening here. There's probably many instances like it here. I could think of a few. But it's a perfect example here of it. That how dare he come over and you'd be allowed into the country and then commit crimes, and then you see what he's doing now. Because there's no really leg to stand on here. It'd be different if he had something to argue that he was wrongly, but he pretty much done is the half the man that's doing it. Pretty much what I'm trying to say. Especially because he has a long history of it too. It's not like he's a random Joe. He's an upstanding citizen. He's done it before. But it's fucking bullshit. Excuse my language. Total bullshit. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a while then before the appeal happens. But hopefully they do reject it, because it will be bullshit if I hear that it's not. Like, the whole charade to start again. And obviously that's going to be a big media circus too, because why not? So it's just total bullshit. Like, I've never seen much lunacy in my life, but it's bullshit. Entirely bullshit. We should all go and kick up a fuss. But yeah, no, it's insane. Like, it is insane. But that's all I really wanted to talk about tonight, because it's literally lunacy. If that's true, that that he didn't do it, but it seems to be true, because again, a lot of the media are reporting it in Finland, so there seemed like they looked into it. Now, I can't find really any evidence of him working in this job. There's evidence, we already know about his dole records and stuff. Like, we know about that. It's public information. We know about that. We found that. But we don't know about this, how much was he paid, whatever the case may be. But again, the Finnish government really should be sending them home. We shouldn't have to look for this information, because he should be on the boat or on the plane sent home. And then that'd be all the worry. We won't have to worry about him again, because he'd be in another country, he can annoy people over there in his home country. So Helen McAtee, you can hear Helen McAtee banging on my door with a warrant. Drew Harris wants to know my location. But it is only the truth, because he doesn't look like an upstanding citizen to me. To be totally honest, I don't know what people take. I can't finish yapping for the moment. We'll chat for a few more minutes and then I'll probably leave. Also, where were these true Finns? They were saying about protecting Finnish women and stuff like that. They're nowhere to be found. So I don't know where they are. So where are these true Finns? I hear the wig is not doing too well. She has the cold. The sitters have got to. Anyway, so you have my full attention now, the chat. If anybody has anything to ask me onto that. Yeah, of course. Like, I don't know if you've seen. I just briefly go in case you didn't see. Like, there's been an update to it. So pretty much, first of all, you probably won't believe this, but he was a lifeguard at one stage for 2 months, Brian. And guess what? You're probably thinking, oh, he's fully qualified. Apparently not. So the man was working for 2 months in like a swimming pool, like the one in Cavan. He did not complete a first aid course. He did not learn, he didn't get an instruction how to say, course, etc., etc. And he didn't know how to swim. So he got a job because he was the diversity hire, pretty much. So, I kind of would go off with it because let's be fair, he shouldn't have got the job. Like, he only worked there for 2 months. And not to mention, he made women uncomfortable. Like, women avoided him. Like, women were too afraid to go near him. People were too afraid to go near him. So, and not to mention then, this next thing, that he's going to appeal this, even though there's no way in hell he'll win it, hopefully. But but like literally, imagine you're stalking someone and you've been literally arrested on their doorstep, and there's many evidence to suggest you were there. You even said you were there. Like the information he said to the police when he was arrested. Where is it, son? Like he came up with this shit. Like this is what he said. He said, I was interested in the building and wanted to see what was inside. So imagine you going out tomorrow morning now, past your neighbour's house, and you can just barge into their house and be like, I like the architecture. Watch the go and see what's inside. A private house, you can barge into somebody's house and say, just because I like the architecture, barge into your house. Like he seems very entitled to me. So that's why I'm still going on about it. Because like imagine you being in the swimming pool and the lifeguard's not even fully qualified. Like you're not qualified. Like that's why I'm on about it. And then he wants to appeal it. That's total bullshit. So that's the only reason why. So so pretty much this is the biggest thing again, because it really just shows you. It's the same here. There's people that work in jobs in this country that don't even know the arse from the elbow because it's just to tick a box for diversity hires. That's pretty much it. And we have to say it. It's happening in Galway and O'Connell. They probably don't know anything at all. Half the people employing just to tick a box, and it's happening. We see it in the United States. We see it in other countries. Just to take a diversity box, just to get the extra funding and stuff like that from the governments, etc., Judge Sowas, etc., etc. And we see it. It's just the straight up truth. Like, he shouldn't have got the job. It's as simple as that. I had to do courses when I went on to my job. I had to learn how to use, we had to go on a course at Safe Pass to do that. You had to do how to pick up a box. I know it sounds stupid, but you had to do that. Manual handling, that's what it's called. And then small mowers and small trimmers and stuff, how to walk them, except you had to do a course doing that. And you wouldn't be able to do my job unless you got course doing that, because you need them to get on the job, if that makes sense. So you insured. So I don't know why he was allowed to work for 2 months with any of them things. Especially again, a lifeguard's a more serious job, because you're pretty much, if somebody takes bad in the water in the swimming pool, takes a heart attack, and it's unconscious in the swimming pool, it's up to you to save them. And if you can't swim as a lifeguard and you don't know how to do first aid, you shouldn't probably be there, To be totally honest, you shouldn't probably be there. And if you make women and children uncomfortable in the swimming pool, you probably shouldn't be there either, You probably should be locked into, in the nicest possible way, Like, I think anybody would agree with that. Like, you probably should be locked into. You should have been sent home anyway for a long time. But if there ever was a person to send home, it's definitely him. So where is Wika? Apparently, Wika is sick, so the sitters are not cutting at the moment. There's no cuts at the moment because the sitters have taken sick. So the one time you want Wika to do something in their life, there's nowhere to be found with those sitters. So we have to start cutting. Because again, he only has a residency permit, so we should be able to cut that up and send them home. So, where are these true Finns? Where are the true Finns? With their sitters. The sitters. But anyway, anything else? Sorry, we won't stay for too much longer because again, I didn't plan to be live tonight. Just because of this happening, I wanted to kind of say something about because it's ludicrous. Like, it's getting more ludicrous. Next thing to come out would be more ludicrous. And he'd probably win his case. This is the worst thing about it. He probably will win his case. Like, he literally stalks women, then he wins. Because at this stage, the courts and the media are protecting the person that's doing this. And he probably win it. Like, that's the saddest thing about this. He probably end up winning it because the media and the courts are with him. Like, imagine that. I never heard such crack in my life. that the media and the courts are protecting them, and you probably get off with it now. You probably be let the restraining order be lifted. Like it's Beggars' belief. It probably will happen because it just seems to be that fucking stupid. Whatever's happened because it's utter ridiculous. Like everybody in Finland saying it, he should have been sent home. There should be no trial. He should be told to go home. That has solved the whole issue. Go home and not come back. Simple as that. And that would have solved, like everybody would tell you that solves the whole issue. Because if he's there for the next 20 years, Santa Mountain has to go back every year to court to get the same restraining order. And what is the sense of that? Like, what is the sense of doing that? It's supposed to be, tell the Finnish justice system. So, like even Donald Trump, if Donald Trump hears about this is fucking bullshit. Like he probably should deport this fellow too when he gets a chance. Because that's the only solution really here. Like that's what we keep saying. So if Donald Trump at least gets in, maybe he might tell the Finnish government to kick him out. Because I can't see any logical conclusion why they couldn't kick him out. Because he's not doing anything. It'd be different if he was doing something in Finland. You could argue he's doing something, but he's doing nothing. He's causing trouble and causing the workers. That's what he's doing. So that's it. But yeah, we will talk about it Wednesday. Hopefully, long as nothing else happens. But again, I didn't know that this was going to happen to him. Like I was saying Saturday night, this is it. We'll move on from there. But this happened. So we didn't move on from there. You get what I'm saying? So only for that we would have moved on. We would have been talking Wednesday here. We would have been saying, but we will talk about the Wednesday, the inauguration stuff. I talked about at the beginning of the stream a bit. It's just all this shit. Because it's probably going to get even worse. That's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't, like, unless the only thing can happen now is he pretty much, the restraining order be lifted. Like, if they do it, there's something very wrong in society if that happens. When you want to get, probably Wednesday. I don't know what time, sometime probably around this time. Wednesday or so. As long as something else doesn't come out tomorrow. If they come out tomorrow and say, yeah, we're going to lift the restraining order, I'll be back on, like, fucking giving a fuck. I probably will make a video on this. I kind of just wanted to say my opinion on live stream because I know some people would ask me, like before they asked me about it, what did I think of it? And that's why I spoke about it because people were saying, "Oh yeah, I heard about this in the news," because it's literally been talked about. Not even just in Finland, it's been talked about across the world on different news channels. Like it's utterly ridiculous. Like it's even talked about in Australia and stuff like that. The first Finnish Prime Minister ever having to get a restraining order. Imagine that, the first ever to get a restraining order. And then it's this bullshit, like it's madness. It's total madness. Like OT, I don't know where they are. Like OT is all about protecting women, etc., and they're nowhere to be found. So I don't know where they are. OT on that. But anything else just before we go? Anything else? Because now is the time to ask me when I'm here. In case Helen McAtee gets me. So the doll is back Wednesday too, so we have a lot to discuss because the doll will be back. For better or for worse. That's that way. So you have to listen to that gumbean shit. So pretty much it's always gumbean shit. It's either one thing or the other. This, but it's just been chaos now the last few weeks, just on a personal level. From the 27th of December, things just blew up pretty much. Every day it's something pretty much. Oh yeah, I do focus on a good bit of Irish stuff. Like on live streams and stuff, you often hear me talking about. It's just because I'm very whizzed up about this at the current moment, and that's the only reason why I'm very whizzed up about this. So I have to kind of say something or explode. But usually, like on the normal live stream Wednesdays and stuff like that, usually I go into other details about different things, like local issues and stuff like that. Like I would use Twitter to be totally honest with you. But the only thing is, I'll be honest with you, I said it before, it's about replying to somebody. Say somebody asks you a question underneath it. It's even just the same on YouTube, the way people would type up a big long conversation. With dyslexia and stuff like that, it's just atrocious, having to try and spell and do grammar and stuff like that. It's like banging your head against the wall. So that's the only reason why I don't really post on X and stuff that much, because I literally would lose the will to live because it'd be just too much, to do that. Yeah, well, what this case does, because it's kind of plain and simple that the Pharaoh, like the total solution here. This is the thing that was me, because he shouldn't have to went to court in the first place. He should have been sent home. He's not a Finnish citizen. He has no really entitlement to be there. He's caused trouble. He's caused loads of trouble. He's three convictions, as we say. Um, he should be sent home. That's the simple. That's the only answer here, to send them home, because you have to go back every year to do this if he's not sent home. So every year should have to go back and back and back, and it's just, why would you do that? Like, why would you not take the logical decision? And especially because, again, as you've seen there, he doesn't do much, pretty much. He's not much of an upstanding member of society, especially when he's doing this kind of carry on. Oh yeah, well, no, I usually don't interfere in topic support and stuff. Usually, you never see me interfere with stuff. Like, usually, many people often give out to me. Funny enough, many people often give out to me for not covering topics abroad too much, because usually in my other live streams, to go back a few months ago and stuff, it was all about local issues and stuff like that, and the national picture here. You used to never talk about anything about it. It's just that I'm very worried up about this. That's what I'm very worried up about. And so I am very wired up about it. A lot of people know I'm very wired up. And I say the Irish diplomats and Helsinki have heard about it already. And I say a lot of the local politicians already have heard about it. Because when I get very wired up, people hear about it, usually I try and keep a calm demeanor, I suppose, how would you put it too? I suppose, I don't know how would you put it, but an optimistic approach, Stephen, even though something's dreadful and stuff like that. I always try and be optimistic and smile and stuff, even though it's the worst possible thing. I always try and keep optimistic. That's the thing about me. But I don't know, over the last few days, I'm not that optimistic about it. Not getting notifications. Hello, 420, first of all. Yeah, probably. I probably am Shadowban. I know that, but not probably for that. It's probably what I'm saying. That, I think it really pissed off YouTube the last video, because I said he should be sent home. And I think that's what really pissed them off, like YouTube off. Because I was doing well enough up until I said that in a video last week, that this fellow should be sent home. He's no addition to anybody, and because he's to protect his status as a foreign citizen of Turkey, etc., etc. That's the only reason why. And I still stand by that, and I go to prison over, because he should be sent home. It'd be different if he apologized, if he meant that he said I go the right way, etc., etc., or voluntarily leave the country. I would say, yeah, fair enough then. But I think that's annoying. But not even the HSE. Many other things, like the list is endless. The HSE, other stuff, the World Economic Forum, don't mention them. But not even that, other crowds. The GEA hate me. Like, the GEA literally hate me in Cavan, because I was one of the, along with Sarah Wiley, one of the councillors. I literally kicked up a hush over that time. In Cavan, they didn't want anybody to pay with cash at all for GEA tickets. And me and Councillor Sarah Wiley were the only ones kind of kicking up like fucking madness over it. So the GEA literally despise me over that. And I can name off a few of them. Garda Síochána O'Connor probably don't like me. A lot of the TDs, councillors don't like me, because I'm the only one really in Cavan individually, apart from the local media, the Anglo South and the Northern Sound, talking about local issues and stuff, and they don't like me talking about it. Because I'm pretty much sometimes very, very harsh, even though I'm fair enough, but sometimes I can be very harsh. Like, particularly the other day with David Maxwell, that Saturday gone by, he was talking about Monaghan Hospital. I was very, very harsh in terms of the words I used against him, because he was saying he was unsure if the accident emergency Monaghan would reopen. And as a TD, as a member of the Oireachtas, is elected to the Dáil, you should be making sure that you're not unsure about it. You're going to kick up a fuss to get it. Yeah, like, well, other stories to cover, local stories, we do, in terms of that. We do, and we have a national stories, though, obviously, with the Dáil being back, and then obviously we were talking about the United States on Wednesday. Like, this one's just pretty much giving out about this to get this out of my system. So then I can come back. You get what I'm saying. What is this? Sorry, give me a moment. What is this? See, sometimes things just happen and I get distracted. Apologies, sorry, I'm back. Sorry, sorry, I got distracted. I seen something there, and I got distracted. No, it's not tomorrow. It's Wednesday, isn't it? It's Wednesday. Yeah, there's tons of clips. Like we'd be here all night if we went into all the details. But we have 100 things to talk about Donald Trump because I did listen to the inauguration. I do think it was good, but we see what happens again. Hopefully, he sticks by his word because there's no point saying something then doing the opposite. Isn't that when is Dáil Éireann back? So I checked that now, but I was told Wednesday. That's what I was told. Like today is the trade. I think you might be a day ahead of yourself. Dáil Éireann is back when Wednesday, not. Where is the Oireachtas channel? Sorry, give me a second. I'm just done. Where is the House of the Oireachtas? Dáil Éireann is back. Yeah, I'm right. I knew I wasn't losing mind. Yeah, Joe Biden pardoned his family for whatever reason. We probably figured that out sooner or later. Like, there's a lot to talk about that too, but yeah, House of the Oireachtas. The Dáils adjourned to noon Wednesday, the 22nd. So you're probably getting a bit confused. I think you're thinking it's the 24th today. I think you might be a bit confused in that, but yeah, it's Wednesday, definitely Wednesday. Because I was watching when the Dáil was on the last time and it said Wednesday, and I have it down on my diary too. The Shannon won't be back because the Shannon elections. At the end of this month, after the Shannon elections, they have to be conducted within 19 days of the general election. So we see who will be our new senators in Shannon Éireann. But Dáil Éireann will be back. Yeah. Fauci was, yeah, very proud of Fauci, proud of a few other people. It was a general in the army too, proud. So we see. Intro for voter. I don't know. We might not get it. I say it'd be like Fort Knox, especially the first day back. I say they will have barricades up and stuff. To be expecting probably protests and stuff. Particularly again, the one thing I will say we'll probably talk about. Micheál Martin has talked about it yesterday in the Fianna Fáil Desh, like to accept to go the program for government. They're going to get a lot of stick for this, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, from particularly young people, and it's over the occupied territories bill. So Micheál Martin is suggesting at the moment that they get rid of the occupied territories bill as they have it, and replace it with something else. So pretty much what that means is that somebody from the United States government pretty much said, if you pass this bill, we will do economic sanctions, pretty much. Because again, you have to protect Israel. That's more or less what's being said here. So that's pretty much what's happening there. But it's the fact of the matter that they went on all throughout the election, Simon Howard and Micheál Martin, saying to people, "Oh, we will pass the occupied territories bill and stuff like that." But why say it if you're not going to do it? That's what I'm saying. That's my opinion on it. Even though we see what happens, but I don't think they will pass it. Because the United States, with the Biden administration, we see what happens in the Trump. But definitely they're interfering to try and stop it being passed, which shouldn't happen. No country should interfere in our affairs in terms of things like that. But you might get down here, but I don't think you will because everybody wanting them because all the spotlight will be on them because the new members of the government. So they'll be in high demand now for the next few days. It'll be bad for our economy, yeah. But I suppose the principle, the way I'm looking at it, is why would you say the thing and then go back on it? That's what I'm saying. Like you stick to your word, you don't or you do. That's what I'm saying. That's more or less what I'm saying. And there was a big issue you seen in the election too. A lot of people were, and I suppose there probably should have been something done, even though the conflict has pretty much come to an end at the moment. Hopefully, touch wood. But again, it's the fact they said it. They said it to a lot of young people. Oh, we'll do it, and all that. I know it would have an effect on the economy. They pretty much threatened that the US administration, but the Biden administration does come by. So we'll see what happens from there. But but I don't think Israel should get off with what they did. In terms of there should be a tribunal, etc., etc. Fortunately, yeah. But we have to admit too, there was a lot of crimes done and war crimes on both sides too. Of course, don't get me wrong. But there was crimes committed, and we have to kind of not just kind of ignore that, I suppose, too. If that makes any sense. But we see what happens in them. But it's still I suppose the main thing for me is they said the thing. If you're not going to do something, don't say you're going to do it. Especially before an election, then when the election's over, we're not going to do it. It's the same really with the colleges too. They're going to get a lot of beef over this college because they say they said before the election we're going to make colleges totally free. Basically, nobody will pay. And obviously that's all well and good. But this is the thing, they're not going to stick with it. So why would you say the thing and then go with the other thing? So it doesn't make any sense. You get what I'm saying? It's pretty much for me, stick with your word. Whatever you say, stick with it. If you promise this, do it. If you don't promise it, don't do it. That's what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? So we see what happens from there. But that's pretty much what I say what we determine. Unless something else happens in the meantime. Because again, you never know in doing the things I'm doing here. You never know what could happen. In 5 minutes' time, there could be something happening. We have to talk about it, etc., etc. You never know. Again, things change overnight. I didn't think I'd be sitting here and saying there's a lifeguard that didn't get qualified, got a job as a lifeguard. I didn't think I'd be saying that yesterday. So, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, I think that's all my rants over. Helen McAtee's wants to know my location. So, I'm going to be arrested for question and stuff. So Helen McAtee's coming to my house now to get me for what I just said earlier on. Along with Drew Harris, of course, too. So is there anything else? Don't think so. Unless anybody else has anything to say to me just before I go. Can't think of anything. Because, the main thing was really much talking with them. So, I think that's pretty much it. I have nothing really else. Obviously, there's other things I could talk about at the moment. But we wait until Wednesday because we'll be talking about many different things. And that's the best thing. Now, I don't know what time. The best thing would be to do when I put it up in the community post, because I will put it up in the community post what time to be live. But it'll be pretty much sometime in the evening because I'm not back from work anyway till 5 o'clock. And by the time, probably 6, that's probably roughly around that, give or take. Anything after 6, anyway, I would say, just to say to people. But that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it for tonight. Anyway. So I'm off to get another cup of tea because my tea's cold. And that's it. Yeah, I probably look up what's happening on Twitter, etc., etc. Just to see what's happening. And then that's it. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. I talk to you Wednesday. Probably have a video up on a few things. We see. I'm just literally going green face and you come in. But anyway, long story. Have a look at the stream later on when it goes up as a video. It's an interesting thing, but not an interesting, but it's adding on to the last few days what I was talking about. So if you get a chance, do have a look at it for a few minutes. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you for being here and enjoy the rest of your night and good night.